You were just talking about how you perceive through Esther, and you see through Esther's eyes, through her normal daily cognition, or do you also have the ability to maybe perceive in a more pure sense?
Oh yes, your eyes are a very small part of that which we see. While your eyes are a tremendously meaningful part of your deciphering experience, they are a very minuscule part of our deciphering experience. And we do not only need Esther's eyes, we can see through the eyes of the frog or the eyes of the fly. Those are really good eyes, those fly eyes. In other words, we are perceiving beings, and we can perceive through any avenue that we choose to perceive through.
As I've been listening to the information that comes through, for about 6 months now, I've also been reading a lot about ancient seers from ancient Mexico, sorcerers, they call themselves. Are you familiar at all with that group of people?
Well,
in a historical sense.
Yes, we are aware of all that has been experienced. We want to lay a brief basis here, and then we want to hear more from you. What's happening here is we are offering to Esther a block of thought that she is translating at an unconscious level into the verbal, physical word equivalent. Right. So we offer knowing, she receives it, unconsciously finds matches, word matches, and expresses. We would call her speaker.
Right.
A seer receives the block of thought and makes visual matches, translates it into the sight equivalent, and then often uses words to describe what has been seen.
My understanding would be a little bit differently. It would be someone who, to use their own terms,
sees into the future?
Oh no, nothing like that. Has the ability to deliberately perceive energy as it flows in the universe.
As you made the decision to get focused into this time-space reality, you knew that you would be using your physical abilities to focus, and that's what your physical senses are. They are focusing mechanisms. The benefit of a focusing mechanism is that, especially when there are many others that are using similar focusing mechanisms, is that it gives you agreement about what you're seeing. So you come forth, you interpret similarly, and it gives you a basis or a jumping off place. One morning, Esther awakened in a hotel room in Maui, and she was at first disoriented. She couldn't remember where they were. And then she had the thought, what would it be like to wake up in a new realm with a new mate, in a new environment every day? And that felt very uncomfortable to her. She liked the continuity. She liked knowing that they'd flown across the ocean, and she liked knowing that Jerry was in the room somewhere, and she liked knowing the continuity of her life experience. So in like manner, you all really liked the idea of coming forth and focusing similarly so that there was a platform from which you could launch your next new idea. Because there is not only benefit from the stability that gives birth to the new idea, but there is satisfaction in that feeling of motion from one place to the other. In other words, this feeling of expansion is so delicious. Imagine standing at the librarian's desk with every book imaginable in this vast space, and you walking up to the librarian and saying to her, "Give me a book, please." And she would say, "About what?" Pick a subject. She would not know where to even begin. And analogies are never perfect, but the reason that we are offering this analogy is because we want to give you a sense of what it would be like if you did not have the ability to choose your subject or to focus in any way, and you were standing in this vast universe where every thought that has ever been thought and every potential thought has even coalesced. In other words, can you imagine the chaos and confusion of your in this moment experience if you did not have the ability to focus a platform from which to reach more specifically into the next idea? So that's what this physical time-space reality is all about. It's a jumping off stop point. And you in your leading edge place, and we want you to hear those words, leading edge. You are the leading edge creator of all of this non-physical energy. In other words, as you focus in your physical human body and the details of your experience cause you to desire and the non-physical energy comes forward, can you feel how it is this leading edge experience that is continuing to take thought beyond that which it has ever been before? Sometimes physical beings think, well, wouldn't it be nice if we could just get rid of all those things not wanted and have a platform that pleases me most or that pleases more of us most? And we say, you did not say, I want to come forth into this vast experience and whittle all of these ideas down into just a few good ideas. You said, let's go forth and be a part of the expansion of the universe. So, your ability to decipher is a big part of that, and you use your physical senses to decipher. These people that through history have come to be known as seers or even sorcerers or witches or those people who learned to manipulate energy in ways that others did not know how to. What they were in every case were just those beings who learned how to focus the energy. In other words, they were focusers of energy. And really that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about focusing energy. Now the reason that we... Say something?
Blending? Is it a form of... I'll allow you to go.
Well, it certainly would be a form of blending because the time-space reality gives them the desire for the focus or the reason for the focus. And then as they are blended, that's a good word, blended or a vibrational match to the source of their energy, now that energy is flowing through them and they are more powerful. You hear us say that one who's connected to the stream is more powerful than a million who are not. It's the alignment of energy within self. Now I want to come back, and if we get too far from where you think you're going with this, rein us back in. But we want to talk just a little bit about where you began with this idea of seer, because we think that in discussing this just a little bit, it will get to the heart of something that is bigger. When you look into a physical environment and you use your physical eyes, you have learned over time to focus your eyes in a specific way, even though there are all kinds of other things that most of you usually do not see. It does not mean they are not there. It means that you have not trained yourself to see them. It's like your dog can hear things that you can't hear. And the fact that you can't hear them doesn't mean they are not there. It means you have not yet trained your ears to hear them. Your dog can smell things that you can't smell and maybe wouldn't want to. And it's not because those things are not there. It is because you have not trained or developed your decipherer as specifically as the beast that is having that experience. So these seers are humans who have understood that there is more to see than easily meets the eye, who have in most cases learned to soften the vision of what they are demanding their eyes to see, which allows them to use a different part of their seeing mechanism in order to see. And those words that we have offered you there, it is true of all aspects of seeing. It requires looking at something from a different vantage point in order to afford yourself interaction with it in a different way.